Hi, my name is Shiva. So today I'll be your guide for the whole Oracle Jet coursework that we'll be working on. So let's get started, I would say. So let us let us begin. Yeah. So does anyone have any idea about what Oracle Jet means? Just any basic idea about what Oracle Jet means? Okay. Okay, then that's fine. That's fine. It's fine. You'll get to know about it once we get into the get into the coursework as well. So coming to the overview, right? So what exactly is Oracle Jet? Oracle Jet is a Java extension toolkit which was developed by Oracle, which is targeted to help the JavaScript developers who are working on web and mobile application. So what Oracle Jet does is that it helps us by providing us a lot of reusable components which we can utilize it to build websites and different types of user interfaces. Till now, if I recall it right, we people make use of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript as the bare bone of creating different types of web application. So Java Extension Toolkit also makes use of these tools in order to develop the web application, but it also provides a various set of components which we can reutilize it to beautify our web application as well. So that is the basic intro about the Oracle Jet. Now, what is the objective? See, we all have gathered together in order to work and understand about Oracle Jet. So, what are we planning to achieve during this whole course? So, here in this entire course, we'll get you to familiarize yourself with what are the features and the components that you'll be working with Oracle Jet, and also you'll get to understand like how the Oracle Jet components which are provided by the cookbook itself are being utilized, and how you can actually reuse the components in your applications, whichever application you design for your website. See how do you reutilize those components. And also, in order to get start with it, we'll learn the basics of JavaScript, jQuery, and Knockout JS as well, which are pretty helpful and handy when it comes to developing the different applications through Oracle Jet. And also, as I've mentioned, right, so Oracle Jet provides us with a cookbook. So what's the main functionality of the cookbook is it has a certain set of components with certain features. Like for example, it has tables that we utilize, which can be sorted and which can be used for searching and finding different values on tables. So for those components, how can we actually understand the usage of those components, and how can we really reutilize this? So this is the main objective of this entire coursework that we'll be looking at. Next, what are the prerequisites and what are the audience that we are trying to reach out to for this particular course? So coming to the prerequisite, you need to have just basic understanding of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Means if you have the basic understanding of what the tags are and how to implement the CSS style properties and how we make different kinds of calls or define functions inside JavaScript, that would be enough. Because the rest of the part, which is the usage of Knockout.js and the Node.js, as well as the different data binding concepts that we are going to use, we'll go through in this coursework. We'll take step by step. So if you are familiar with HTML, JavaScript, and CSS, it is going to be helpful for each and every one of us. And also, the audience that we are planning to target are probably new than the beginners who have not yet worked on Oracle developers, as well as the intermediate developers who have been working on Oracle Jet for a couple of years or something like that. So this is the basic prerequisite which we'll be requiring for this course. So I have discussed with our colleagues, and we have decided on the entire course structure, and we have divided the whole course structure into 6 modules, as you can see on my screen. So we have divided the whole course structure in the following 6 modules. Module 1 is the introduction of Oracle Jet. Means what exactly Oracle Jet is, why is it being why is it being known to the world right now, and how is it useful, and how are we going to install and set up an environment to develop web applications using Oracle Jet. That is the main agenda of module 1. Coming to module 2, we learn the prerequisite language, as I've already mentioned, right? So we'll be just brushing up our skills of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and require JS as well in the module 2. So that when we come to the components, or when we come to developing components of Oracle Jet, if you would get familiarize yourself, because we'll be using the same concepts of list of HTML, the selects, the text box areas of form, the different form components. The same kind of thing we'll be making use of in developing the Oracle Jet components. Once you learn the basics, right, so it would be easy for you to understand how are we implementing, how are the attributes being defined in the Oracle Jet. Now coming to the module 3, right? So Oracle Jet, how is it functions? It does a data binding. So Knockout.js is the JavaScript that will be utilizing a lot in order to bind the data to the components. Like for example, if we are defining charts, if we want to define charts, then with the help of data binding provided by Knockout.js, we'll be combining the whole data from the JavaScript, and we'll be displaying it to the different chart components that we'll utilize. So are you people clear till now? Okay, I believe yes, I believe you people are understanding me. Then coming to the module 4, right? Yeah, excuse me. Was someone saying something?
Yeah, actually, this is Saravanan here. Actually, so far I have understand Oracle is for developing an UI, right? User
Yes,
interface, correct?
yes.
Okay. So what I have understand that the VBCS, right, in Oracle Fusion. So the VBCS is built upon Oracle Jet. Since we have VBCS, why are we going for the Jet? What is the difference between this and that one?
Okay, no, can you come again? Can you please come again once?
Oracle has VBCS, right? Visual Basic Cloud, right?
Yeah,
So that Visual
yes.
Basic Cloud is built on Oracle Jet. That's what I have understand when I go through some of the forums, right? So
Yes.
what is the difference between this Oracle Jet and they have another EUI called VBCS? Why they are promoting two different tools?
See, Oracle Jet is mostly useful in case of scenarios where we are planning to create single page applications. It means high usage of single page applications. So it provides us a better value of it. Because the thing is, right, see, when we load different modules in VBCS or other types of softwares, the thing is we'll have to load different type of JavaScripts or the utilities that we have to use. But in case of Oracle Jet, right,
Mhm.
because it is providing us the opportunity to create single page application. Once you develop different components or the features in a particular application, right, you don't have to load whole JavaScripts, the entire JavaScript. You don't have to load it because they'll be preloaded on the base SPS. And also moreover, it would provide us a very good two-way binding as well in this case. That's the reason we use it. And it is modular. So see, also it's modular, which means that whatever you need, like what all kind of component or whatever is your requirement, like if you just need a select, if you just need a checkbox, then only you will have to load only those kind of components. You don't have to load each and everything like in other cases. That's the one advantage of OJet. So it reduces a lot of reloading time. It reduces a lot of loading time, and it helps in that scenarios.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get on to the module 4. So in module 4, what we'll understand is how are we gonna implement the components in our existing application. I'll demonstrate to you, like we'll create our own applications, and we'll try to utilize different types of components, such as implementing different form layouts, trying to figure out how we are doing how are we implementing tables, how are we doing a two-way binding, and how are we getting data from the JSON. Like directly you can define your data in JS, but in the real world examples, we get the data from either we get the data in terms of JSON from the backend, right? How are we gonna implement that? So in module 4, we'll be understanding that and getting down to deep down inside the Oracle Jet, which is our module 5, we'll be learning about navigation and routing that which is helpful for moving between the different SPAs, the single page applications that we'll be looking at, and also the different views concept, like how can we implement the trees views, how can we implement animations, how can we implement different types of charts and make them responsive. So that is whole about module 5. And coming to module 6, which is debugging and testing, it is just like a extra help kind of a thing. Like how can you debug and test your applications that you have developed through OJet. Like for example, if something went wrong with your application, how can you easily debug it, and how can you try to rectify your errors or something like that. So this is the whole course structure that we have charted out for this OJet demo. So I would say let's get started with first module, which is Oracle Jet environment. So in this module, we learn about what is Oracle Jet, as I have mentioned, and also how to set up our Oracle Jet on the device. So why do we need Oracle Jet? So the reason why we need Jet is a collection of open source JavaScript technologies, along with a library of Oracle contributed JavaScript components. So as it is an open source JavaScript technology, right? So it is really helpful for all the fields of developers. So it's not like you'll have to pay for different types of you'll have to pay for different packages or something like that in order to get the tools and the technologies that the Jet provides. So that is one of the beneficiary point about it. And because of apart from this, it provides us with a lot of libraries which are contributed by Oracle JavaScript components that help us when we are creating our applications aimed at consuming and interacting with cloud services. Like if we want to create our different types of applications, right, we can try to fuse them with the cloud services as well in order to utilize it. That is pretty helpful in that perspective. And Oracle Jet also helps us in creating both web application as well as mobile application. So that is also one of the pretty good advantage of Oracle Jet. These are the reasons why we use it. The main reasons are, one, it is open source. The next one is it has a wide library of tool operations which we can utilize for developing our web applications. And the third thing is we can easily try to consume cloud services and integrate our applications to cloud services as well. So these are three main reasons why we utilize Oracle Jet. Now, next coming to what are the basic components or the features that Oracle Jet provides us with. So Oracle Jet has a built-in range of components, and best practices include single-page applications, as I've already mentioned, a two-way binding, a responsive design, modularity, localization, as well as accessibility. Oracle Jet is helpful in such a way that you can actually internationalize. See, you know that when we work on an application, right? So our application from day-to-day life, our business logistics. So these can be used around the world. So it has to be easily translated in different languages so that it could be understood by wide majority of the public. So Oracle Jet also provides us with good internationalization functionalities as well. Also, because of these functionalities, it is also especially useful for developers on working on large enterprise applications that needs the leverage of new techniques for modern innovations in JavaScript. So as I've already mentioned, right, the Oracle Jet, it utilizes the basic components which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Utilizing the basic components, it try to enhance it via the different concepts of data binding and modularity, accessibility as well. So this is one of the important things of it. Also, it provides us a toolkit instead of a framework. See, usually when we work with web applications, right? So we will load the framework and we'll make utilize of the framework when we want to launch the application and everything. But in case of Oracle Jet, it's not like that. It provides us with a toolkit. Actually, in order to run, right? For example, when I just demo you that as well. So, for example, when you run a web application, you need to have a WebLogic server or an Apache Tomcat server in order to start up your application. But this is not the case in case of Oracle Jet. You can actually run it via command prompt itself. The normal command prompt itself, you'll be able to launch up your web app directly. I'll just show it to you in just few minutes as well. How are we doing that? This is also one of the reasons Jet is designed for us developers. Like we are all developers, we are planning to develop something. So it is designed for us to make use as well as little of we can make as little as use of the toolkits that it provides, or we can maximize the use of all the toolkits that we are provided with Oracle Jet. So let me just show you a sample of how an Oracle app looks like. So this is a basic template of a dashboard. This is a basic navigation template which I have loaded. So see this template, right? As I've already told you, I did not need any kind of Apache server or a WebLogic server to start it. So only thing I did it was I just started myself using the Oracle Jet, and that's the one beauty about it. You can launch most of your applications directly through the command line prompt itself. So in this screencast, right, in this particular screencast, I'll be showing you how we are gonna create a basic template out of it and what is the different functionalities. Like for example, see, you're able to see the screen, right? Oracle Jet is kind of flexible. How I mean flexible is, for example, see, you're able to see the different tab options, right? Now, if for example, the width is reduced of that tab option, then it gives us a sidebar in order to navigate between tab options. So this is the flex layout property of Oracle Jet. So in case, and also if I'm right, you people have worked on the concept of viewports in case of HTMLs and all that in order to adjust the heights, width, and different stuff about the different layouts. Like for example, if you're launching a web application in a normal laptop or a normal desktop, then it has to be this. Then we utilize viewports. Like if we are launching a web application in the tabs, in normal tabs, then it has to adjust its width and height. The similar way when we are considering the mobile applications as well. So when we are launching any web application in a mobile, it has to get adjusted. So we consider all the scenarios and we make use of viewports in order to adjust it. But instead of all the viewports and everything, Oracle Jet OJet provides us with a class called as a flex layout, which automatically handles the different applications that we are looking at. So you don't have to worry about the viewport sizes like viewport widths, viewport heights, and nothing like that. So that is one good advantage of Oracle Jet. Also now I'll just show, so as we are going further, I'll just give you a sample example of how how can we implement a select of a form. So don't worry about this project structure. Means once we'll get to the module of installation and setup of the Oracle Jet environment, I'll give you a brief intro about how our code is structured and what is the advantage of the way this code is structured and how is it easy for developer understanding as well. So let me just clear off this app.
You said we don't need any Apache server or WebLogic servers, right? So where this will be deployed actually?
See, means for see we depending on see we We'll need WebLogic and Apache server when you're dealing with the high-end business logic applications, right? At that time, you will need you'll need WebLogic server. But for small single-page applications, like a basic like a basic grocery store, like when you need single-page applications, right? You don't have to have a WebLogic server to deploy it. Via the command prompt itself, the OJet toolkit helps us to deploy the application. Like for the small applications, and not for small applications, you don't have to have different type of WebLogic servers or the Apache Tomcat. You can directly utilize the command line prompt of the project to deploy them. But in case of high-end business applications, right, at that time you will need WebLogic and Apache servers.
Okay, that means we can use it as a desktop application as well as we can deploy it on server that can be accessible across multiple people.
Yeah. So to
Got it.
give a basic okay, yeah. So to give a basic idea, right? So let me just modify two files. So how we structure, I'll just give you a basic idea so you will understand why am I modifying two files. So usually when we consider the components, right? So we have the HTML part, we have the JavaScript part. HTML is usually defined for the view part, and the JavaScript is the model which will control which will control our HTML. So to understand basic terminology, right? So we have two folders. One is for the views, which stores collection of all our HTML code, and the other one is the models, which stores all our JavaScript files. So one thing you have to keep in mind is whenever you're creating a component, the name of the view, that is the name of your HTML file, has to be exactly the same as your view model. So in this case, if you see, right, so there is a view which is dashboard.html. Then in when you come to the view models folder, you have to have a file with dashboard.js with the exact same spelling. So that would help the OJet in order to pick up the corresponding model for the particularly selected view. So this is one basic idea of why you need it. So why am I telling is I'll be modifying both of these files for you to understand. So let me come to the HTML file. So as I mentioned, I'll just add a basic select example and I'll show it to you. So so why I was saying we'll need the see. So coming to the HTML, right? So this is a basic example of a drop down that we utilize it. So why I was saying will be understanding, we'll be brushing up our HTML and the JavaScript skills are. So if you see over here, right, we use normal label attributes in HTML. But the thing is, when we are working with OJet, so it has its own set of attributes, and all of them are predefined with an OJ hyphen. So usually if you will be working on with normal HTML, right? So you'll just use label. But in case of OJET, we'll have to prefix it with OJ hyphen. And so this is for the label. And similarly for the select, right? So we'll use normal select. But so as I've already mentioned, you'll have to prefix it with OJET. And as this is going to be a simple single select scenario, so this defines what type of select it is. So when we are coming to the attribute, we'll understand that. And next thing is the data. So this thing that you're seeing over here, right? The square braces and the curly braces, these are nothing but the data bindings. These data bindings, we are going to use it using the knockout.js. With the help of these data bindings, we'll be fetching the data which we are going to be displaying in this particular select. One distinction between the square braces and the curly braces is the square braces is used for one-way data binding. That is, this chart types, whatever, if we define a certain set of chart types, then it can only be used to populate into the UI, the HTML part. Whereas this curly braces, right? So if, for example, it displays the values over here, and for example, if user makes any modification over there, then this value gets, it's a two-way binding. So it gets populated back again to the JavaScript as well. So that's a basic difference between the square braces and the curly braces. So this is, I've defined the HTML part. Now let me define the JavaScript part. So chart types are yeah. So now let's address this thing first. So what I'm doing over here is I'm defining the types, what all types I'm going to display on the chart. Like for example, the pie and the bar charts. These are the drop-down values that I'm planning to display. And this array data provider, right? The array data provider is used to bind the data to the corresponding variable. So this chart types, as I've already defined, right? See, chart types for the data part, I've defined the chart types. So whatever the data, like it processes the type that we are providing based on the value, and it assigns the value to the chart types. And coming to the self.val, which is the value that what is the, like for example, I'm trying to display a default value on the UI. So this is what it does. The value field, right? It is taking the val as the default. So I'm defining the pi. Coming to this knockout.observable, right? I'll just give it is used for binding. It's used for a two-way binding for it. Like for example, pi, it will bind the value of pi as default. But if a user changes the value of pi, then this val also changes. So that is for that. So this would be the basic JS code that is required. But apart from this, as we are making use of Knockout, right? So we'll have to include all the library components of it in order to utilize all this toolkits. So first thing, as we are using KO, which is the knockout. So we'll have to include the knockout lib. So we'll specify knockout, which we are going to use. Next thing that we are using is the array data provider in order to get it. So we'll have to specify that lib as well. So provider. Next thing what we are using is, as you have seen over here, right? We are making use of an OJ label and an OJ select. So as we are making use of these two components, we'll have to include the libs for those two components as well. So first we'll include OJ label, then we'll include OJ select single. Yes. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have defined our libraries, the libraries that we are planning to use. What else we have to do is we have to pass it to the require object. So uh, follow the same order. What we have defined first, we have defined knockout, right? So and the variable that is gonna use the knockout lib is KO. As you can see over here, right? We are making use of KO. So you have to define that exact variable KO. Next thing, we are making use of array data provider in order to process the data. So you use the same variable as array data provider in order to do it. Now coming to the different components, right? The OJ label, or be it OJ select single or OJ select multiple, you don't have to define it. It automatically processes it. So so this is the basic thing. Now let's go back to the UI and see. Okay, I think I'll have to redeploy it. I think I'll have to redeploy this 1 second. Let me clear my cache. Okay, let me just redeploy it. Oh no, 1 second. Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. There are no errors. That is right. Just give me a minute. For some reason, it's not getting updated. No, I'm not. See, I'm not sure what exactly happened on that application. I'll just check it out. But this is how it will come. So you have seen, right? So by default, we have assigned the value of pi. So the value pi would be assigned, and the second one, which is the bar chart, which is the bar value. So this is how the basic OJet development for select works. Like how this is how you utilize the OJ select components. This is another example of chats. So I'll just demo that as well to you. So here, I don't think HTML provides the concepts of chats as well. So this is a basic example of chat. So we are creating an OJ chat of a component, and we are defining it, and we are specifying the type, what type of chart we need. So this is bar. There are different types of chart, which is area charts, which is column charts, and all that you are supposed to specify. And the data, right? I have given you an example in case of select. The similar way in case of chats also, we are binding the data from the backend, from the JavaScript part. And these are the animations on display. These are fine. These are the styles, the CSS styles, which you can adjust accordingly. And this template for slot, right? It's for each and every item of the chat. What I mean is, see, we have different items in this particular array. So we are processing each of the items separately, and we are distinguishing them, and we are grouping them. So this OJ, so this is like an iterator kind of a thing. In HTML, we have select, right? So inside selected div, we'll have the options attributes. In the similar way for the OJ chart, this OJ chart item is like the sub attribute in order to distinguish and assign different values for each and every item. So so the value we are assigning the value, we are grouping them, and we are giving them the series IDs. These are the certain predefined set of items or the attributes that we'll utilize it. Why am I saying that is, see, this is the series. We are considering them as the series. We are using the groups in order to group them together, and we are trying to get the value, like we are assigning the value. So if you check this out in the UI, right, this is for baseball. Let's say these are for the baseball. So for baseball, group A value has 42 and group B value is 34. See, group A value is 42 and group B value is 34. So like this, you can try to create charts as well. This is basic example of it. And as you are using chat, as I've already mentioned you about it, right? So whatever component that you are using, you'll have to mention that component you'll have to fetch the library for that component over here. So here I'm fetching the OJ chart component and I'm trying to get that. So this is like the basic intro of what exactly OJet means. So I guess if you people have understood something about it, or if you people have some doubts, some questions, I guess we can talk about them right now. Because for today, I guess this would be fine. Like basic intro about OJet, how we can implement a simple components like this, like the simple select or the simple chat components. This is a basic demo for it. So I guess this would be fine for now. If anyone has anything or any questions to ask, you can feel free to talk now.
Hi, this is Venu.
Yeah, hi Venu.
What are all development tools using for this Oracle Judge?
Huh. See that okay. You mean how? Okay, we'll be using a text editor, which can be either a Notepad or a Sublime Text. I would suggest use a Sublime Text because it gives a better folder structure for us, so that when we are working on it, it would be easy for us to understand it. And the next thing is we'll be needing a Node.js installed in our environment, which should be above 8.x version. Those two would be more than enough. For this whole course,
Okay.
those two would be more than enough. So tomorrow when we are working on the setup part, right, we'll go through, means I'll go through with each and every one of you. We'll get the necessary tools that we need, like we'll install Sublime Text or the Notepad++. We'll install the Node.js, the latest version. We'll install the OJet library, like the whole OJet client code, the libs and everything. And also we'll create a basic template as well. We'll create a basic template. The template, this one that I've shown you, right? This is an example of a nav drawer template. What I mean by nav drawer is this part. We are drawing the navigation, right? We are able to draw navigation. So we'll try to create
Yes.
a basic template as well. So that we'll address it tomorrow.
Okay. And during our course, you will provide any database access also to, or we have to use our own database to connect this.
For that, right? See, we are still working on it. Means, how can we easily provide that? We'll surely let you know about it. Means we are still thinking like which would be the better way for us to make this whole course easily understood. Like whether we can ask you to create your own, or we'll give us a centralized database. We're still thinking on it. We'll get back to you about that. Means we still have time for that, right? For the database part, we still have time for that. We'll let you know by that. For sure, we'll let you know.
Okay, Shiva. Thank you.
How is job market for this actually Oracle? And
No, can you speak a bit loud and can you come again?
yeah, how is the job market for this tool?
How you're speaking about how is the job, means how are the jobs and everything about this?
Yeah.
See, yeah, see, this is a recently implemented tool, right? I believe you people know that, but Oracle has been widely utilizing this. So Oracle himself, like in their own corresponding projects, they are using it a lot. So, if, for example, right now Oracle is the company that is widely utilizing it. So, if you learn about it, it would be a quite beneficiary tool to have when you go for interviews in Oracle, as this is a very relatively new kind of concept, right? Different companies are trying to approach and understand this and try to implement it. But Oracle is already widely utilizing it. So in case if you learn this, right, you would have a better hand than most of the other applies or the other people who are planning to apply, right? You'll have a better hand. For now, Oracle is the only company that is widely, means if you go to Oracle, almost most of the projects or most of the products that they utilize, it's designed on this Oracle chip. They use this as the barebone structure for all the templates and everything for their SPAs and everything. So there's a
Okay.
lot of job opportunities for this. And in future, we
Okay.
hope that it's gonna be even more when other companies also start utilizing and integrating this, right? As this is an open source thing, so they're gonna be a lot of job opportunities for you.
Okay. And so this is a page, right? So how the security features are derived for this actually application? So inbuilt security comes in, or we have to build a separate security for accessing all these jet applications?
No, see, Jet provides their inbuilt set of security, as I've mentioned, right, for internationalization. They are
Mm.
already providing us with almost 28 languages, literally. So they are also have their own set of predefined set of security constraints. They provide the security constraints. They have inbuilt security checks and everything for these applications. So on top of that, if you want to utilize like different like login credential, SHA 256 security, on top of that, if you want, you can implement those. But it has a very good security, inbuilt security for
Like
this.
in case if I wanted to integrate this OJet page with Oracle Fusion, right? Oracle Fusion applications, right? So Oracle
Yeah.
Fusion applications already having they're having item for the SSO passwords, right? So can we derive that password extend to Oracle Jet?
Yeah, you're saying that we can try to derive the certain features from Oracle Fusion, right? The cloud. That is what
Yeah,
you're saying, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
you can derive. You can actually integrate OJet to any of the Oracle cloud services. It does that. We can easily integrate the OJet to many of the cloud services provided by Oracle.
Okay, okay, yeah.
So I guess if no one has any other questions, we'll surely meet tomorrow. Only thing would be that please have a good internet connection because we'll be downloading Sublime Text and Node.js for tomorrow. And also please have like the administrator access to your command prompt because initially when we are creating new applications or when we are trying to install libs, right, we'll have to have command prompt access. So please ensure that you have that access as well. So I think I'll stop sharing now.